When you don't feel like showing up, do this instead. Welcome to the Self-Concept Bestie podcast. I'm your host, Laura. Today is actually the perfect example of what I'm wanting to talk about, because I was sat here and I was thinking, I don't even know what to say. I felt blank. I felt disconnected. And the old version of me, they would have taken that as a sign not to show up. But that's exactly where people stay stuck. So let's talk about it. I've realised that when I'm expanding, when I'm stretching into somebody that I've never been before, I go blank. My brain shuts down a bit. And it's almost because it's never met this version of me before. It's never met this Laura who is now running a community, who is coaching other women, helping them build their confidence. So my brain's shouting at me saying, well, what do we say now? We don't know. We've never been you before. But I've realised that we aren't always going to feel inspired. You know, some days you wake up, right, you've got that inspiration, you're ready to go. But that doesn't always last because, as I've said, and I will keep on saying it, our brains are there to keep us safe, not to make us happy. So we're not always going to feel inspired. We're not always going to feel confident. We're not always going to feel ready. But most people only take the action when they feel good, when they feel inspired, when they feel ready. But that's why people stay inconsistent. That's why it's easy to, in January, start the gym, but after 3 weeks, we quit. Because our brains, our identity hasn't actually known the version of us that follow through on that all year round. The person who goes to the gym 3 times a week. The identity, we've not fully merged into that yet. So what it does is it pulls us back. We start to doubt, we start to feel that fear. We don't feel inspired, we don't feel confident, and we don't feel ready anymore. So what happens is we listen to that and we take that as, right, that's my time. I'm going to make up an excuse. I can't go today because our brains create the excuses. Because our brains are wired to keep us in the familiar, even if it is playing small. Even if you know consciously that you want to be that person who's at the gym 3 times a week. You want to be the person that wants to start a podcast. You want to be the person that's going for your dream job. But if we're not training our brains into a new identity that it's safe to feel this new expansion, it's going to keep us small and it's going to allow us to self-sabotage. And if we don't bring the awareness to that, if you can't see what your brain is doing in that moment, we'll stay stuck, we'll stay inconsistent. Because your emotions are often just a reflection of your past identity. What you're feeling is your past identity. It's not your future. So when we're in this motivational stage, we're ready to go. Everything feels great. You feel like you could take on the world. But then what happens when that doubt creeps in? What happens when the overthinking comes in? And it's the maybe I'll do it later. Or I'm just going to scroll on social media. Or, a new series has just dropped. I'm going to binge that. Because what we're doing is we're procrastinating. And if we don't bring the awareness to what we're doing, we'll keep doing it. We'll stay stuck. We'll stay in the same loop. But when we can bring that awareness to what our brain is trying to shout at us, what is it trying to scream at us? Where is it trying to hold us back? Where is it trying to keep us safe? When we start asking these questions and stop listening to the loud, maybe I'll do it later voice, oh, I'll just watch this series. When we decide to challenge it, what happens? It might feel uncomfortable. It's, it's sometimes a lot easier just to give in. It's a lot easier to stay stuck. I'm telling you that right now. It's a lot easier to stay small. It's a lot easier to stay where you've always known, because it's what our safety net has been accustomed to. It's what our life is built on. But we don't get anywhere staying comfortable. We expand when it's uncomfortable. So when we keep on telling ourselves, I need it to be good, so I'll just wait until I feel better. Right, I'm not ready. I'll be ready when I've healed. I'll be ready when. Well, I'm here to tell you that is never going to come. I'll be ready when. Because your brain will just find something else for you to be ready for. Your brain will just find something else to hold you back, to keep you in the same loop, repeating the same cycles. And then what happens? The guilt then creeps in because we've not moved and we've not done what we said we wanted to do. So it reinforces that cycle, and then you get that boost again. We start again. So a month later, you want to start the gym again. You've got a fire in your belly again. But that identity, it's not sustainable for your brain. It doesn't feel safe, and we're not training our brains to feel safe in that moment. So we self-sabotage. The guilt kicks in. Oh, there we go. The loop starts again. And we're just in this consistent cycle of getting a boost of energy, doing it, allowing our self-sabotage, guilt creeps in, and here we go again, and you're just beating yourself up constantly. And it also starts to reaffirm that you don't trust you, that you're not trusting yourself, because what we're doing is we're listening to that ego, we're listening to that fear. We're staying small all the time. But it's not that you're lazy. It's just that we've trained ourselves to only move when it feels comfortable. We've trained ourselves that being safe means being cosy and comfortable. But what happens when we train ourselves to start to get comfortable in the uncomfortable, in the unknown? I know myself. That happened to me yesterday. My brain was loud. Oh my God, that way where it was loud. I'm now branching into somebody I've never been before. I've never been this girl. This is brand new for me. Somebody who is coaching women, who has got our podcast. This is all new. What happens? My brain started, the fear and the doubt came in. The emotion came up and it was loud. And I really figured out my brain was just screaming for control, because it can't find that control right now, because everything's unknown. So what did it want me to do? It wanted me to start looking for a 9 to 5 job. It wanted me to start self-sabotaging connections. It wanted me to be angry. It wanted me to be annoyed. It wanted me to feel low. But I could hear it. And I knew that's not my new baseline. Our new baseline is pretty consistent, happy, positive, but we're human. These things are going to come in. These things are natural. It's natural that these emotions are going to come in and they're going to scream at us. But that's when we allow ourselves to keep expanding, even in the uncomfortable. So what did I do instead yesterday? I let it be there. I let that noise. Was there a moment where I thought, yep, let's just give up, let's just give in? Oh yeah, because that voice is loud. So anyone, any coach, any high vibe, positive person, I'm here to tell you that they're human too. They have doubts, they have fears. They have the thoughts of, maybe I should just give up. Maybe I should just go back to what I know. Maybe I should go back to being comfortable. But I decided. I wrote it all out. I got a piece of pen and paper and just wrote out everything that was on my mind. And I started to see the pattern of where it was that lack of control. I went for a walk and moved that energy through my body by sitting and dwelling in it. It was getting louder. I was actually giving power to that fear. So I got out a big walk. I allowed that movement. And I done a 10-minute yoga, stretching my body, coming into myself. And I gave myself the time and the grace that was needed. And actually within that, what I found was it started to give me inspiration. It started to give me inspiration to what I was going to be able to now bring into my inner circle group, what I was going to be able to bring to the clients that I work with. Because when you're going through something and you can come out the other end and you find the tools, that's what we're all looking for, isn't it? We're looking for a way out. We're looking for the magic pill. We're looking for somebody to tell us, how do I fix this? So when I'm experiencing that myself and I can pull myself out of it, it means that I've got more tools to be able to help other people do the same. Because that old identity of me was saying, I'll just show up when I feel like it. But the new me, the new identity, is I show up because I said I would. Discipline isn't punishment. It's self-trust. It's about showing up when you said you would. It's about not listening to that fear and moving anyway, building that self-trust within yourself. Confidence comes after that you show up. It does not come before. Confidence is built by doing. It is built by keeping on going. Do you think when you walk into the gym that you're feeling that confident on your first day? But after a week, you're feeling comfortable. You're liking it. That confidence, you're training your brain that it's actually safe. But now we just then need to push through when that block comes in for the identity expansion. The most powerful shift I've made was deciding that my actions aren't up for negotiation anymore based on my mood. I move anyway, even when it's uncomfortable, because that self-trust for me is everything. So what do we actually do in the moment? I don't feel it. I don't feel like it right now. And that's okay. That's what you say to your brain. See when it's screaming, right? Screaming. The fear is loud and you're not wanting to go to the gym that day. I don't feel like it right now, and that is okay. But actually, see when we detach the meaning to it. So this doesn't mean anything about our ability or our future. It's just noise just now. And then stop raising the bar so high for yourself. So let's just put the gym scenario. You don't feel like going. I don't feel like it right now, and that's okay. Say that to yourself. Detach that meaning. Doesn't mean anything about my ability or my future to continue going. Lower the bar for yourself. Stop putting so much pressure on it. Do you know what? You don't want to go to the gym today. Okay. What about getting a 5-minute workout on YouTube up? What about getting out a walk? What about doing 10 squats in your kitchen while the tea's cooking? Because by at least doing something and moving anyway, that action starts to build that self-trust and it creates momentum fast. When that self-trust is there, you move more effortlessly. So when it comes up again and that fear comes up again, you're like, okay, don't feel like it right now, that's okay. Lower that bar. But what can I do? What can I do instead right now that is still creating that momentum, that's still building that self-trust? Because we don't always need the motivation, we just need movement. The movement creates the momentum. The movement creates the motivation. Because when I really sit and I think about, I could easily not have recorded this today. That would have been me choosing the version that stays small. That would have been me choosing the version that doesn't trust herself, the one that doesn't follow through, the girl who always gave up. And I'm here to tell you that was me. The girl who never stuck at anything, who always gave up. But will I make it to 100 episodes in this podcast and more? Yes, I will. I will not miss a week. Because I have made a commitment to myself, even when it feels uncomfortable, and I want to bring you on this journey with me. Because there's one thing that I actually realised is when I went into any of this work a good couple of months ago, I was always thinking, right, I needed to be almost like it needed to be perfect and polished, and that was just a story that my brain had created. But do you know what true authenticity is? Do you know what builds trust with your clients? Is being able to be vulnerable and being able to show the messy parts as well, because we're human. It's actually damaging if you're just constantly wanting to show people your positive side, the great stuff. It gives people that false sense of security. Because not everybody is great every single day. We're going to have anxious moments. Don't have to have anxious days. Have anxious moments. We don't need to allow them to define us, but it's building the tools and the space to be able to get yourself to keep on moving where you need to go, even in the uncomfortable. Because now I'm actually in it. Now I'm actually recording this podcast. I feel good. I feel amazing. I'm speaking my truth. And do you know what? There's vulnerability in that. There's power in that vulnerability. Because if I was just to come on and be saying to you, oh yeah, this is great, this was brilliant, but yesterday I was a mess, that wouldn't be authentic. It's real life. We're human. We've all got stories, we've got trauma, we've got things we're working through that we need to continue to work through. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just something that we pick up like, oh, we're positive now. No. Something that we decide, we choose every single day. And that's how you build self-trust. It's not in the big moments. It's in every small moment that you choose yourself, you choose to move anyway. Every moment we've got a choice to make. Right now, you're listening to this. Just ask yourself, what's one thing that I want to do today that I've been putting off? One thing that would move me forward to my goal. Just ask yourself, listen to the first thought that comes into your brain and move with it. Even if it seems weird, even if it feels uncomfortable, move with it. Because yesterday, when I was in that loud fear, do you know what I done? I messaged a guy I know about being a guest on his podcast. And I've got the date set up. Now, was that fearful voice? Was that old identity? Was she moving anywhere? Was she wanting to go and record a podcast and be seen again on another platform? No. But the new me is, so I moved anyway, even in the doubt, even in the fear. Because I had a choice to make in that moment. Do I sit here, do I play small, or do I choose to expand even when it feels uncomfortable? And I know what one I want. Life is waiting for us. We just need to make the choice to move. We need to get to learn about us again. We need to meet us, who we've always been, underneath all of that fear, all of that doubt, all of the beliefs that have been created. We need to meet us again. We need to see that person in the mirror. Be proud of the person that looks back at you in that mirror. Because if you're waiting to feel ready, confident, or inspired, you're going to be waiting forever. the version of you that has the life that you want. She moves anyway. Message or share this episode if it hits you or it resonates with somebody that you know. I want to know what you've been putting off that you're now going to move on. And if you're ready to become someone who actually follows through, this exactly the work I do. Head to the link tree in the show notes where you've got access to the inner circle and also a form to be able to work with me one-to-one. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, today has already been an amazing day.